Hey guys, okay, so the second big goal that I was wanting to talk to you guys about today is basically, I've covered it already briefly, just about the law, but the goal is okay, so the law is such a broad topic, right? It's such a huge basically it feels like an unlimited body of knowledge. I mean, there's so much law out there, no one person could ever possibly cover it all. So the second big goal is for the FAF is to make sure that each member has a solid understanding of the law, at least in regards to the principles that underlie the movement itself, the values. So essentially freedom, equality, and liberty. Okay. Now, in regards to the current legal system, that's an epic amount of work. Okay, so breaking that down and actually understanding that, the groups that come together to learn that, that's a very difficult task. And people who are able to facilitate that will be the second prime movers in the FOF. Okay. Because they're doing something which is so difficult already, and making it an easier process for everyone to learn, at least to the points where they can at least equalize the majority of ills that are being done because there isn't proper representation out there that people can afford, maybe, or because there's just an innate bias in the culture where they say, oh well, this person is, paid less because of their gender, for example, or something, whatever it may be. It's just more about the fact that that's the second big goal, is to have a set of aids or a set of tools in which help people to be able to understand that huge body of knowledge which is the law, to a point where it's effective to use or effective to understand, so that people can't push around other people's rights and take away their freedoms, and people live amongst a group of other people of equal value to them. Okay. And so and also they have all their liberties. Okay. So essentially, that's the second goal. Okay, the second big goal. So the first big goal, like I mentioned, was taking those authors and making them easily understandable, the principles behind the movement. And the second big goal is to, at the same time, start to bring the law within a understandable framework for the people who are involved. And in actual fact, it is attainable now. Okay, so just to be clear, there is no limitation that is stopping the people from understanding it now. Okay, they just do not put in the time and the mental effort. Okay, so you can start there, and as you start to move forward through the learning process, it builds the tools that allow people to actually have an effect in a courtroom, have an effect mentally. They can listen to something that they've heard and understand if what has happened has followed the legal processes that exist or not. Because there's a lot that goes into law. I mean, besides you've got the statutes, then you have the procedures that go on within a courtroom. You've got the policies and procedures that the police use. You've got, the constitutional backing for the law to come out, like, which is a statute that, I mean, there's all sorts of there's international law that also domestic law is meant to adhere to. So there's all sorts of these different templates and things that you've got to know of, and it's such a huge amount of knowledge to understand. And it's more easily understood if you're learning on a consistent basis for a prolonged period of time. And unlike, say, a university degree or something where someone is trying to get into a law school or trying to become a legal practice, like start a legal practice or do something like that, this is more taking responsibility for that area and understanding it, so that regardless of whom is representing you or what is going on in the courtroom, you do actually have a fundamental understanding of the processes that are actually taking place for you or someone you care about, and that way there is a lot more, how shall we say, accountability in regards to those functions of law. Okay, and that's what this is about, is saying, okay, we draw the line right here in terms of these values, and if people step over the line, then we activate. Okay, now that being said, something I want to clarify as well is that the FOF, there may be very well many cases out there that the FOF would not be involved in. Many different examples of power struggles, for example, that they would not be involved in, because in fact the power struggles themselves are either between two parties who are wrong for even having the power struggle, or the person who has come to us, they're the one who is oppressing, or by their nature of what they're trying to do, actually taking away the freedoms or the liberty or the equality, or like the equal value of someone else. Okay, treating them like less. Okay, or putting them in a situation where they are that way. So in which case the FOF would not be involved. So there are many cases in which they would not be involved in that. Okay, it's not an automatic mechanism where it's not just a power ad. Okay, it's actually a specific set of ideas that a group of people will advocate very, very actively. Okay,